The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. More reaction to our interview with Energy and Transport Minister JoBeth Colby Davis. Did she contradict the Prime Minister as she acknowledged that the BPL deal was never tabled in the House? A man accused of killing his pregnant lover seeks bail. And the FNM says it will launch its election campaign during Lent. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, February 19th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll get a preview of the special one-night-only tasting menu at Karna, what you can expect. And later in business, we're talking with Easy Car Sales. They're celebrating their 10th anniversary, and they've launched a new luxury brand. We'll get all the details about that. That's all ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping at the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, a day after Prime Minister Philip Davis incorrectly claimed that all contracts entered into his administration for energy reform have been tabled in Parliament, Minister of Energy and Transport JoBeth Colby Davis contradicting him and saying that the deal with Bahamas Grid Company does not need to be tabled, but will be loaded onto the energy reform website to be made accessible to the public. She's speaking right here on Morning Blend Business yesterday, saying that the documents need to be loaded to the site, saying, quote, it's just the transparency of having that document available for viewing. And I think that's the point the Prime Minister wanted to make, that he's already given that directive for it to be made available. And when it should have been done, we only had the summary available. Now that we are through the negotiations and it's concluded, and based on proof of agreement from the Attorney General's office, we are now in a position to release the final. The deal in question allows for the transmission and distribution on New Providence to be taken over by BGC, a special purpose vehicle formed by the Bahamian government and Island Grid Solutions, a subsidiary of U.S.-based Pike Corporation. While there have been repeated calls for the agreement with BGC to be laid in Parliament, its details have remained murky, even as Bahamas Grid is operating on New Providence with its own staff and has taken over the responsibility for T&D from BPL. As you may recall, the Prime Minister was asked on Tuesday to respond to criticisms that the deal has still not been made public. In response, he wrongly stated that it's been laid in Parliament and called critics lazy for not having gotten the details of the arrangement. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions plans to hire outside counsel to prosecute the bribery case of former Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson and 2 others. That's according to well-placed sources. Johnson is scheduled to go on trial alongside well-known defense lawyer Bjorn Ferguson and Sergeant D'Angelo Roll in March before Justice Dale Fitzpatrick. The accused have selected a trial by judge alone. Prosecutors allege that Johnson, while heading the Criminal Investigation Department, solicited a bribe from Michael Fox Jr., a suspect in a $1.475 million armored car heist that took place in November 2023. Fox was seeking to avoid prosecution. Ferguson, who was Fox's lawyer, allegedly participated in negotiations. Roll is accused of helping Johnson steal $90,000 of the recovered money. The matter came to light after a number of voice notes allegedly between Johnson, Ferguson, and Fox went viral on social media. However, those recordings may not be much use at the trial since a forensic voice analysis has been able to say definitively who was speaking. An attorney for a Nassau mag accused of killing his pregnant mistress has asked a judge to grant him bail. 31-year-old Reuben Cartwright, a married father of 2 who was charged with the murder of 30-year-old Lauren Saunders on October 27, 2025, appeared before Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson yesterday for a bail hearing. Cartwright, who is in prison, appeared in court via Polycom video conferencing. According to police, Cartwright led them to Saunders' body in bushes off Munnings Drive on October 22nd, 3 days after her family reported her missing. Cartwright's lawyer arguing that he was a fit and proper candidate for bail due to his strong ties to the country and police record. The lawyer saying that the evidence in the case was not cogent as Saunders' cause of death was undetermined. By contrast, the prosecutor arguing that the possible penalties upon conviction made Cartwright a flight risk, saying that Cartwright told police that Saunders met her death during sexual choking. FNM leader Michael Pintard says the party will launch its campaign and release its manifesto during Lent. The PLP launched its campaign on Monday ahead of the 40-day solemn period of prayer and fasting, which began yesterday on Ash Wednesday and ends April 2nd, Holy Thursday. While outside Parliament yesterday, Pintard said this is going to be happening in less than 40 days and that, quote, we certainly intend to roll out our manifesto and at the same time we involve candidates and that will happen in a few weeks' time. We're quite excited about the various points of the FNM platform. Recently, various religious leaders, though, have raised concern that politics could overshadow the sacred time. Pintard is not concerned about possible backlash, but that they will be respectful during this period. Overseas, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the former British prince who was stripped of his royal titles because of his links to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. While Andrew has consistently denied any wrongdoing in connection with his friendship with Epstein, concerns about Mountbatten Windsor's links to the late financier have dogged the royal family for more than a decade. Thames Valley Police saying that a man in his 60s from Norfolk in eastern England was arrested and remained in custody. The force, which covers areas west of London, including Mountbatten Windsor's former home, did not identify the suspect in line with the standard procedures in Britain, but pointed to the statement when asked to confirm if Andrew was arrested. Mountbatten Windsor, who turned 66 on Thursday, moved to his brother King Charles III's estate in Norfolk after he was evicted from his longtime home there at Windsor Castle earlier this month. The police previously said it was assessing reports that Mountbatten Windsor sent confidential trade reports to Epstein in 2010 when the former prince was Britain's special envoy for international trade. Those reports stemmed from correspondence between the two men that was among the millions of pages of documents from the U.S. Justice Department's investigation into Epstein that were released last month. And former South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol found guilty of leading an insurrection today and has been sentenced to life in prison for his brief imposition of martial law in 2024, a ruling that marks a dramatic culmination of the country's biggest political crisis in decades. The conservative leader was ousted from office after he declared martial law and sent troops to surround the National Assembly on December 3, 2024. In a baffling attempt to overcome a legislature controlled by his liberal opponents. The judge of the Seoul Central District Court said he found the 65-year-old Yoon guilty of rebellion for mobilizing military and police forces in an illegal attempt to seize the assembly, arrest political opponents, and establish unchecked power for an indefinite period. Yoon's martial law imposition, the first of its kind in more than 4 decades, recalled South Korea's past military-backed governments when authorities occasionally proclaimed emergency decrees that allowed them to station soldiers, tanks, and armored vehicles on streets or in public places, such as schools, to prevent anti-government demonstrations. Clashes in the Israeli-occupied West Bank killing a 19-year-old Palestinian-American man late Wednesday night, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. It said the victim was shot by settlers in the village of Mukmas, north of Jerusalem. The Israeli military is saying soldiers responded to a violent confrontation in the area and attempted to disperse a riot. The military is saying that suspects shot at several Palestinians who were evacuated for medical treatment. And members of the United Nations Security Council calling Wednesday for the Gaza ceasefire deal to become permanent and blasted Israeli efforts to expand control in the West Bank as a threat to prospects of a two-state solution. This coming on the eve of U.S. President Donald Trump's first Board of Peace gathering to discuss the future of the Palestinian territories. The high-level UN session in New York was originally scheduled for Thursday, but was moved up after Trump announced the board's meeting for the same day. And it became clear that it would complicate travel plans for diplomats planning to attend both. It's a clear sign of potential for overlapping and conflicting agendas between the United Nations' most powerful body and Trump's new initiative, whose broader ambitions to broker global conflicts have raised concerns in some countries that it may attempt to rival the UN Security Council. Pakistan, the only country on the 15-member board that also accepted an invitation to join the Board of Peace, Israel's contentious West Bank settlement project, the meeting as null and void, and said it constitutes a clear violation of international law.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, with some young athletes qualifying for the 2026 Carifta Games at home last weekend, others were running the times and making their marks overseas. In total, there are now 34 qualifiers for the Bahamas for Carifta Track and Field, set for the Easter holiday weekend, April 4th through 6th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium in St. George's, Grenada. One of the latest Bahamian athletes to hit the mark, Kaya Marie Hanna, in the under 20 girls 400 meters. The 18-year-old freshman at Temple University adjusting well to collegiate athletics, winning the girls 400 meters at the 2026 Wagner Indoor Classic in Philadelphia, running an impressive personal best time at 54.95 seconds. Read more about that in today's Guardian Sports section. Bahamas Youth Flag Football League has fielded 15 and under and 16 and under teams to take on the challenge at the 2026 Youth Flag Football World Championship, slated for February 19th through 22nd in Orlando. Expectations running high for both teams, especially coming off the heels of a successful campaign at the 2026 USA Flag World Championships in Tampa last month. And the Antel Rogers Timberwolves and C.I. Gibson Rattlers both looking to claim a stake in the championship game of the 42nd Hugh Campbell Basketball Classic. Two of the tournament's frontrunners both earned victories Wednesday, defeating the Agape Christian School Eagles and Blazer Elite Sports Academy. They got those victories in the morning session at the AF Adderley Gym on Wednesday. The Timberwolves getting the best of the Eagles 45-34 on day 3 of the competition. The Rattlers securing a wire-to-wire 61-33 victory over the Blazer Elite. The Charles W. Saunders Cougars defeated Isbet 35. And the QC Comets leaving the morning session with a 37-33 triumph over Grand Bahama's Jack Hayward High School. More on how teams are doing in today's Guardian Sports section. From the Winter Olympics, when the U.S. gave up a tying goal to Sweden with 91 seconds left in the quarterfinals of the Olympics, even the most seasoned players were on edge. Well, the U.S. defeated Sweden and Canada, beating Czechia in overtime to reach the semifinals at the Olympics. Finland also escaped an upset bid. This is ice hockey, by the way. Finland also escaped an upset bid by rallying to beat Switzerland 3-2 in overtime. Sweden is going home early from the tournament. That did not go as planned for the team, with a full roster of 25 NHL players. Upstart Slovakia is making another improbable run at the games as well. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. It's time for your first look at weather. Karna in Bahamar. We've got high pressure supporting a gentle to moderate breeze throughout the islands today. Meanwhile, a low-level, low-pressure system across Kisal will generate quick passing showers in the northwest, central, and southeast Bahamas. And northeast swells will diminish along Atlantic coastlines. For today, there's a moderate to high risk of dangerous rip currents and rough surf along all Atlantic exposed shorelines due to moderate to large northeasterly swells. Swimmers are urged to remain onshore on Atlantic beaches. Your forecast for today for the extreme northern islands, including Grand Bahama, partly to mostly sunny, turning fair tonight, only about a 10% chance of passing showers. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, variably cloudy today, turning partly cloudy tonight, a 20 to 30% chance of brief showers. A mix of sun and clouds, turning partly cloudy tonight for the central islands, with also a 20 to 30% chance of brief showers. And variably cloudy, turning partly cloudy tonight for the southeastern islands, with a 10% chance of brief showers. Winds out of the south to southwest at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times. For the extreme northern islands, southeasterly at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable times for the rest of the northwest Bahamas, and east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots for the central and southeastern islands. Temperatures today again in the 80s, highs around 82, 83 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to the low 60s for the extreme northern islands, but the mid to upper 60s and even low 70s for the rest of the country, between 20 to 23 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. You'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Karna. Reminding you that for one night only, February 24th at 7 p.m. at Karna, legendary butcher Dario Cicchini will be on island and at Karna in person for an indulgent $300 per person tasting menu featuring West Home's Nature Boo. It's a true VIP dining moment with limited seats. Reserve now.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at CFAL.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
City of Miami Gardens presents JITG Music Fest. Janae Aiko, Ludacris, Usher, Nelly, Glorilla, LMA, Maya, Show, D-Nice and Friends, featuring SWV, Donnell Jones, Case, Sunshine Anderson and Kenny Burns, Isley Brothers, El DeBarge, Stephanie Mills, and so many more. March 7th and 8th, Hard Rock Stadium. Tickets and info at jazzinthegardens.com. Jazzinthegardens.com.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dream at CIBC. You're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening. We know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Whitney's has brand new chicken
tenders. And they're everything you've been craving. Crispy, juicy, and seasoned just right. These tenders bring the flavor from the very first bite. Dip 'em, dunk 'em, love 'em. With sauces like sweet chili, scorching hot, ranch, honey barbecue, honey mustard, and Wendy's signature sauce. Grab them as a kid's meal. Enjoy them on their own. Or make it a combo that hits the spot every time. For tenders you're gonna know by name, it's gotta be Wendy's.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end?
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Join me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning to our listeners, especially those in Grand Bahama. I'm going to try not to call any names and get in trouble, but you know who you are, Mr. Turner and Vaughn McCoy and Mr. Roll and everyone. Yeah, you say that, but then you go on to call names.
Oh, boy.
But to every one of our listeners, Mr. Cash, every one of our listeners, and especially, like I said, those in Grand Bahama, thank you so much for tuning into Morning Blend. And Dwight, I promise you, is working as hard as he spends at least a week here covering Morning Blend from Grand Bahama. Right, Dwight?
It's coming. It's going to happen sooner than you think. Sooner than you think.
Yes. Maybe you know what? Maybe we should do one show live and, with a studio audience so we can see how many supporters we have here in Grand Bahama.
Well, that sounds scary. I don't know. But okay. All right. Great to have you back, Laverne. Again, you're in our prayers.
It is.
And
it is good to be back.
Thinking about you and your family. Okay.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone who called, who said condolences, who called in. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Great stuff. We've got a lot to talk about today, a lot going on. And now we've got some fun stuff as well. A little bit later, we talking about this big event coming up at Karna, an exclusive event. I know, Laverne, you are very interested in going to that. That shows you how much of a fancy person you are, but it looks amazing.
I'm glad you said that because honestly, I'm not a foodie.
Oh yeah,
okay. I'm not a foodie, but I do like fine dining.
Well, I am hoping that when they come here today for a preview, they will bring us a little sliver of the Wagyu beef.
Okay, well, I'm hoping that they don't.
Okay, I bet you they won't.
Because I'm not here.
We can always box it up and send it to you, but
no, but I don't eat beef, so.
Oh yeah, well I'll have your portion.
There's that. Have my portion. Right.
Well, that's coming up, and then later, our friends from Easy Car Sales, they are celebrating their 10th anniversary. Can you believe it?
Wow, yeah. 10 years! Congratulations!
They'll be here talking about that and about their new luxury brand as well. So a lot to get to, but right now, let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, get an apology from the Prime Minister after calling people who have been asking for months, it feels like years, about details on the Pike deal, on Bahamas Trade Company.
You mean because we're too lazy to read?
And don't want to ask
we want
questions.
To be spoon-fed?
Yes, we want to be spoon-fed by our daddy. He did say he's our daddy. Or no, he says plenty of people call him daddy.
Can you not say that? I'm so uncomfortable with that.
That's what he said. Plenty of people call him daddy. But anyway, daddy was wrong, and daddy said something that was extremely incorrect, which we all knew, but proven by his own Minister of Energy and Transport right here on Morning Blend Business. yesterday when she said, the information has not been tabled as yet. Which we all knew. We
all knew
know
that.
All of us, but one man. One man knows the date for some other things, but doesn't know that we don't have this type of information that we've been calling for.
No worries, Latrell will come and clean up behind him.
How can that happen? This was the ultimate in gaslighting.
He does that, and he'll do it well, as he always does, and he'll come right in and smooth it over and say, no, when he meant table, when he said table, he didn't mean table. He was talking about resting it on the dining room table because that's where he rested it to bring it to Parliament. So
that makes more sense than what was said. But anyway, we do appreciate the minister, JoBeth Colby Davis, for being here yesterday and explaining this. And also, I hope people listened to it. It was a great interview. We talked about a whole lot of things related to transportation, about the bus system, about taxis, about Uber type of rideshare companies.
So when is that going to be legalized?
Well, with no firm dates on anything, but
right.
But all of it's being discussed or worked out. Discussed or worked out, including the unified bus system still being worked out. But this part here, which we kicked off with at the beginning of the show yesterday, what exactly is going on here? Who is confused? And we knew it's confirmed. So, Colby Davis admitting yesterday that that there wasn't anything that really needed to be tabled, but she said, quote, it could be, or it could just be loaded onto the site. This is the agreement with Pike and Bahamas Grid Company. It's just that the transparency of having that document available for viewing. I think that's the point the Prime Minister wanted to make, that he's already given that directive for it to be made available. And when it should have been done, we only had the summary available. And now that we are through the negotiations and it's concluded, and based on proof of the agreement from the Attorney General's office, we are now in a position to release the final.
Okay. So when he said it's already been tabled in the House, what he meant is that he's already given the directive to have it loaded to the site.
That's what she's trying to say. Now, other PPPs have been tabled, definitely. We've seen those agreements.
Right.
There's access to that, but that's not what he was asked about. He was asked about Pike.
South Pike. And his response was that everything has already been tabled. It's just that some people are too lazy. They don't want to read. They want to be spoon-fed.
I will read his quote directly. He said, quote, all of the contractual arrangements that were entered into in respect to our transformation of our energy sector have been made public. They're all laid in Parliament, and if they wish, they can just go through them and ask any question they wish about what has been agreed. It's laid in Parliament, so this question about not knowing, they don't know because they're lazy and want to be spoon-fed.
Right. Okay.
Now,
all right.
As you may recall, yesterday, when pressed on the issue, Colby Davis said that the agreement will be uploaded to the government's energy reform website shortly.
Okay.
She said that while there was a summary document in hand, ongoing negotiations delayed the release of the contract itself. And that, quote, following the end of the negotiations, the directive from the Prime Minister was to make sure that the included agreed documents of what was agreed based on the energy transformation. So the Prime Minister did give the directive to have that done and completed. So now you could also infer that everybody else screwed up around him. That he told everybody to make this transparent and put it up there, and it hadn't been done as yet.
But it hadn't been done.
I don't know. Anyway,
the
so fact is, we haven't seen it.
Do we have a date?
No.
When it will? Because, well, she said that she did say that it hasn't been yet. So it's something that we can look forward to. We don't have it as yet, but it's something that we can look forward to. Dwight, it doesn't even make sense for us to keep beating up about what the Prime Minister said, because we all knew that it wasn't available. It wasn't available.
But do you like to be called lazy? And
I don't believe that he was referring to us.
Oh, who was he talking to or about?
I think he was referring to the opposition.
But they don't have it either.
But I think that's who he was referring to. But in any event, but in
He's talking. He's talking about the Bahamian people. We all have been asked.
I understand that. I understand that, but what I'm saying to you is we all knew that when he was speaking, it was incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew that, correct?
We did.
Are you lazy?
Not in regards to this.
Do you like to be spoon-fed?
Occasionally.
All right. Did you want to be spoon-fed regarding Pike?
No.
Okay.
And not ever from this daddy.
I'm going to completely dismiss that then.
Okay. So, hey.
That's what we should do. Just completely dismiss that, because who were you talking to? He didn't mean the Bahamian public. He didn't mean us. I don't know who we met, but he didn't mean. And we have confirmation that nothing has been published yet. So now what we need to do is to continue to check the site so that once it's published, we will go ahead and read. Right?
Well, whenever shortly arrives, yes.
Right. Shortly is like right.
Oh boy.
I'll be here. Would we say in our Bahamian vernacular? I'll be here directly.
Soon directly.
Okay.
Well,
soon directly.
I don't know which one's worse, coming soon or shortly. But
we're about to find out.
Be concerned. Be concerned.
Be concerned, yeah.
Okay. Let's hear from you folks. 323-6232. It's not the end of the world. It's not the biggest story in the world. But again, we don't appreciate being gaslit. We don't appreciate you trying to make our heads spin, right? Because we've been saying this. This is like they'll say, what are we talking about FOIA? We enacted FOIA years ago. It's up and running. What?
What?
325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. 422-4796. I mean, the trucks all over the place. One day, I told the story in the air before. I saw they were all gathered. There were people in BPL trucks, people in BGC trucks, people in Pike trucks. They're all around, standing around, looking up at a pole. And I could have sworn I saw, and I see still driving around. Who's doing what? Who's responsible for what? What is happening?
They were all standing around covering the agreement. They were all around discussing the agreement.
They have to say, wait, according to the agreement, I don't think I should be here. I don't think I can be standing here.
According to the
article,
according to Article 5, line 12.
But they'll say,
I'm not supposed to be here.
But have they seen it themselves? So who's seen it? We don't know anything. But shortly we'll know. Wow. Hopefully it'll be before the 25 years agreement is up. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Laverne.
Good morning.
Good morning, Grammy boy.
Yes, Laverne, I have my deepest sympathy. I couldn't get in for the last couple of days. Why, I don't know. But I am so happy to be in the land of the living today amongst you and Dwight and everybody else. Grammy boy, what Grammy boy always tell you, Dwight? What they say. And it ain't coming soon, Laverne, or
shortly
to come. If KP tell you, we come back and tell you they coming right back, don't believe that because they ain't coming right back. But Dwight, I have
on my way.
I have a very important situation to report to the nation, kind of like an emergency this morning. So give me 2 minutes, please. I thought Dr. Davel and the administration told us about 2 weeks ago on Guardian Radio that the Nixon nurse at the hospital was done. It was over. Unfortunately,
with
yesterday,
A&E.
Pardon me?
With A&E.
Well, not even A&E. And all of the little nurses over time and stuff that I was back on track.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Unfortunately, yesterday, Grammy boy and another patient encountered something that we thought should not have been. At the end of the nurse's shift, and let me make this disclaimer, you can't blame the nurse. You cannot blame the nurses. At the end of our shift yesterday, midday, 3 of us were left on the machines, blood out, going through our paces at dialysis. And all of a sudden, the nurse abruptly packed up her bags and she left. So we inquired amongst ourselves, what happened? Where is she gone? You can't leave us like this, right? But we found out that there were still some discrepancies with the overtime situation. Those nurses are not being paid their overtime. 45 minutes, right, to Laverne and Nation.
Mm-hmm.
We were on the machine, sweating buttons with no staff assistance, 45 minutes.
Wow.
What happened to me was my machine then decided to play crazy. For 10, 15 minutes, I could not get the machine to restart. Built in blood clot, losing my blood. So I made up my mind yesterday. I said, boy, Grammy boy, you're going to lose half this blood because ain't nobody here. One person that was there, Dwight, Laverne in the Nation, was a one-day summer student, trainee nurse. She was left with the patients. We tried to get her assistance. She couldn't do anything. We sent her to get help. She came back 3 times and said, there's nobody there in dialysis. We tried to get help. And if it wasn't for the young Sister Maycock, in there trying, and Nurse Feaster, 2 of them, trying to deal with 30 patients on the machine, some almost 30 patients themselves, we would have been in all kind of trouble. Y'all almost lost Grammy Boy yesterday because Grammy Boy and our Sister Maycock had to come and at least get half of my blood back for me. So all of that rigmarole that was Dr. Darwin and Albert them doing, they need to fix that forthwith with people's lives, Dwight and Laverne. They're playing with people's lives, and it's that like they don't care. And what my real concern was yesterday was, the first time this happened to a patient, I thought PHA and them was to take care of that property. No, nothing. That patient lost her life just like that. So in a way, I was going to let that happen to me yesterday without saying something. And that's what I want to report this morning. They need to fix it.
Wow. That's unbelievable. I'm glad that you're okay, but wow, that's terrible stuff. Thank you so much for sharing it. So they're still on a work to rule. They're not going to do more, even though they were paid. Well, wow.
Well, maybe they left because they weren't paid what they were supposed to be paid. It seems like that is what he was saying.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
there was some discrepancy. I don't know. We don't know, Dwight. We don't know.
But I suspect the policy is still in place that you have to get permission to work overtime. If you're not required to do it, don't do it. But it's unbelievable that the unit was left unattended.
Mm-hmm.
That's wow. Wow.
Something I maybe someone who is a part of the union or can maybe call in if you're listening. And say exactly what happened and why.
Yeah, well, or PHA. PHA needs to explain.
Yeah, somebody can call in and explain what happened.
We're working to get Dr. Darville. This is turning out to be extremely challenging for some reason. I'm not too sure what's going on there. I suspect that I'd sooner get Donald Trump on the show than to get some folks around here, which is very interesting, right? But let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Good morning. You're live on the air. Hi.
Good morning.
Hi. We can hear you.
Okay, great. I was calling to bring something else to your attention, and I just listened to that gentleman, and man, listen. Let me tell you something. I don't care what work to rule. I don't care what situation you're dealing with. You're dealing with another human's life. And for you to put someone's or person's lives in jeopardy because you're worrying about money, I don't care how you explain that. I don't care where you come from like that. How are we becoming so cold in this world today, especially persons who have signed up? I didn't say that you have to be happy 100%, but signed up to protect people's life. And I guarantee you, if that was their mother, their father, their brother, their sister, they weren't going to pick up just like that and leave without making sure that these people were sorted out. My God. I mean, what are we coming to in this world? Money is more important than a human's life. There's no excuse for that. I don't care work to rule. I don't care Dr. Darvald, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. That's a human being. And that is sickening to hear something. I don't care what they could come with. That is sickening, and I'm tired of hearing foolishness like that. If you decide that you're not into what you're into to preserve life, then leave. Then leave. If you want a higher salary, go into something else. Because obviously your minds are warped, and your approach to how you deal with things is warped. How could you dare do something like that? That's criminal. And I'm going to say one more thing. What I originally called for was, I was listening to the radio not too long ago, and I heard that under this Epstein's file thing that they arrested the royal, I think Edward this morning or yesterday.
Andrew today, yes.
Andrew today.
Yes.
And I didn't hear you guys mention anything about that.
We did in the overnight.
Oh, okay. All right, bro. Well, yeah, man. I don't even have words for what I thought about what I done. It's heartbreaking, man.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Oh. Let's take a few more calls, and then we'll get to your text messages. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight and Laverne.
Hi.
Dear Laverne, you opened the show for Dwight. I mean, you came back, have my deepest sympathy. You came back real powerfully strong. Some energy has been transferred to you, apparently.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think Minister Darvald is really fit to be the position that he's holding. Similarly, maybe a lot of ministers who elected, and you can clearly see now that they are not following instructions, because I'm pretty sure in cabinet meetings we would agree to say this is how we can say it, and then now you have a minister contradicting the prime minister. It's beginning to look like they're sabotaging him or showing up his faults.
Well,
but remember, sorry?
I'm not sure. Again, they could be in the wrong.
They could be in the wrong.
Right, because he apparently told them to do it, and they haven't done it yet. Or they were waiting for something, and he might have assumed they did it. I'm not sure.
Apparently told them to do it. No head rule yet. I mean, I should follow up with that. But you remember he said, I think it was 2024, when the U.S. federal government accused of being corrupt and not accounting, and he says the tree will be shaken until every bad apple is fallen. So maybe for Lent, he could give up something similar to not shaking the tree too much, because it looked like he's falling off the apple tree.
Well, maybe we should have asked which tree, right? Because it might
the
not
tree
be...
of accountability. Okay?
Right. No.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Trees are probably being shaken, but is it the right one? Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning, Laverne.
Good morning.
And I want you to have my deepest sympathy. Dwight, comment on the PM situation, but I wouldn't. I remember, and this is for GNN. This is for Rami Boy. I remember sitting listening to you when he called in, and you had said that he doesn't sound too well, and I was concerned. And I'm happy to hear his voice this morning. But Dwight, if I could have waved a magic wand, and I would definitely address the dialysis unit, and I really feel sorry, but, I just want to say this to Dr. Darvald. There are 4 certain democracies in life. It's called ups and downs, affliction and death, and it comes to us all, Just listening to him this morning and his cry, I don't wish that on my worst enemy, Dwight. And I pray to God that this government would develop the moral compass to address that issue concerning PMH. I've been a strong proponent and advocate for a hospital, for that hospital situation to be addressed. While many of us are celebrating the fact that we will get a hospital maybe 4 years, 5 years, 6 years from now, that is not the point. The point is there's three-pronged situation to address our healthcare system in the Bahamas that we all one day will have to deal with. You know, it's called short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals and objectives. That hospital is a long-term objective. It is not an immediate situation to address these patients' concerns. Thank God that I am not there as yet. You know, but I just want Grammy Boy to be encouraged. Huh? You know, I never met you. You know, you're an activist like myself. And I hope that one day we will get what is needed for patients such as yourself. That's all I got to say during this Lenten season.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. One more call, and then I want to get to these messages. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning to Lewine. And good morning to everybody in the Bahamas.
Good morning.
Marvin, I know you can't my name, Michael Johnson and Newton Johnson. Dwight, give me 2 or 3 minutes, please. To all of the rich and black behemoths in this country, please. I ain't talking about halfway. To all the rich and black real behemoths in this country, you can tell me you all make billions of dollars in this country. Dwight, I won't cry. And you all can't buy 10 things for our people, man. What happened to you like this? The Bahamas is one of the richest country in the world, right? Our people dying. Behemoths dying, people suffering, people sleeping on the streets. But the brave Davis, listen to me, listen to JJ, sir. $97 million in consultancy, fire every one of them. You all civil servants, please, 20,000, you all need to go home. You all ain't doing your job. Some of you are getting trained towards the pension. But the brave Davis, you're the most powerful man in this country. You need to fire but 8 or 10 of your cabinet ministers right now. They ain't doing the job. You all know what's nothing, motherfucker. I tell you, you're not a service man. This is our country. I feel it for my people, Dwight. I be on the ground every day, wake up, people begging, people begging. People ain't getting educated. The school no crowded. You can't fix that hospital. Very better over the education building is break that down and build another 5-story in the sky with helicopter landing pads. Traveling all over the world, carrying all these bunch of jokers. Partying, you all partying. The country is in.
Thank you very much. Said from the heart. Wow. Okay, let's read these messages. This person says here, this is covering a lot of different issues. So what the Prime Minister and his statements, but also what you heard from GNN about the hospital. So this text says, I personally make no excuse for the Prime Minister. He meant exactly what he said, and the thing is he refuses to apologize when he's wrong. Take, for example, the accusations about the food program during COVID, when he spoke about the expected overrun about the budget or something like that. Well, we don't know if he's wrong yet. The surplus. We'll know in a few months. How he berated Candia Dames. And now this. Pressure tall, man. That's when you overpromise and underdeliver. This person says here, the Prime Minister's recent misstatement on the accessibility of details regarding the electricity deal involving Bahamas Power and Light, Island Grid Solutions, and its partners matters not because of politics, but because of process. While the Minister of Energy and Transport should be commended for correcting the record rather than falling in line, it's laziness. Why are Bahamians expected to be informed after decisions are made, especially on something as critical, costly, and historically frustrating as power? We keep acquiescing, and the bill, financial and generational, always lands on our citizenry. We pay today, our children pay tomorrow, and our grandchildren inherit the debt, all while being excluded from decisions that shape daily life. That must change. Wow. This person says that nurse, this is back to what Grammy Boy was talking about, that nurse needs to be fired. Wow. Grammy Boy's talking about Darville is to blame, but the nurse who put him on the machine is he so politically motivated that he rather put blame on the government and not the nurse who couldn't just wait till everyone was off the machine, then leave? Now the person says here, the caller seems to have misplaced anger, and the issue is not the nurse. The issue is the government not placing priority on healthcare workers. Which caller are you talking about there? How could you be so cold, the caller asks? Well, this is what the administration has driven the workers to. What now? With their complete lack of concern. Well, okay, that's a bit of a stretch. But oh boy. Let's say that caller let that caller stay on a job after they completed their shift hours. He doesn't have any responsibilities or family to go to. He would stay there without being compensated. That's his business. The government needs to pay the people. They are tired of staying back with a good heart, and their lives are in flux without any compensation. Most of us, if we leave our jobs, people's lives won't be in jeopardy, though. You know, at least see if you can find another nurse who can take over while you leave. No? I don't know. Laverne, are you there with us? I know you were having some issues.
I'm here.
Are you still there?
I'm here.
Are your power still off? Your power went off there.
Yes, my power is still off.
And you're not under BPL yet. You are still with GBPC over there?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, we are still with Grandma.
So you all won't necessarily notice.
I have no power.
You won't necessarily notice a change if it should come under new ownership then.
Okay.
It'll be just like old times.
No rhyme or reason. I was in mid sentence and then it was very quiet. And I'm like, did I lose Dwight?
Are you on a backup? How long are you going to be? How long do you have, you think?
I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
Right? We never know when the power's going off. We never know when it's
No, I mean, how long
back
do you
on.
think before we lose you? You're on a battery backup thing.
I'm on my phone now.
Okay, all right. Well, we appreciate that.
Fortunately, it's fully charged, so
okay,
we
good,
should be okay.
Good stuff. What now? What's the person says here? This person says here, assumed this is back to the prime minister. He assumed they did it. Well, we are to assume that he assumed they did it. I don't know. Is he the leader or not? That's a text. Tell that caller who.
Go ahead.
We're back and forth with the text messages. Everybody's back and forth.
Okay.
So this person says the caller who's lambasting the nurses, it is criminal for this sorry government to pay their cronies every month and not want to pay the nurses when they know they don't have enough staff. Okay. What is sickening and criminal is the government realizing that there is an issue and continue to allow the nurses to suffer, hoping to evoke emotions like that from the caller while they ensure that certain people get their slice of the pie.
Well, Dwight, I'm going to say again, we don't exactly know what happened. But here's what I will say generally speaking. Generally speaking, nurses, they care about patients. And so for the nurse who left to leave, and if what GNN is saying is the reason that she left, I want us to consider that they may be at that point, that this situation has gone long enough that they made that difficult decision that this is what I'm going to do, right? And, we're going to have people who say, oh, how could you? And that's cruel. And that is, and it's all of those things and whatever they want to say. But let's consider the fact that maybe where enough is enough.
Wow. This person's responding.
This it wasn't just, this is what we're going to do. We don't know how long this has been going on, and we don't really know the conditions that they've been working under and being told it's coming, it's not coming, it's whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just reach a breaking point.
This texter says you're hearing that caller say that nurses should work for free, and if they don't want to work for free, they should quit. That's so stupid. Why not direct that anger at the Prime Minister or the Minister of Health? Do you think nurses just one day decide to take action?
Right.
People deserve to be paid. He sounds like a PLP loyalist. No, I don't think that has anything to do with it. He just cannot understand how somebody who takes this type of oath, who's worked like this their whole life, can just walk off the job.
It's because they've taken that type of oath and they've been overlooked and underpaid. It's like teachers. We talk about teachers and we talk about people in the nursing profession, and it's such a wonderful, and these are there to be protected and they're this and that. And these people have to live. They go into the food store, they're paying the same prices we pay. They don't have a special teaching price, right? Their bills the same, mortgage, whatever the same. And at some point, we have to be able to adequately compensate them. But we expect so much from them, right? And they must never be upset. They must never walk off. They must never protest. They must just keep working, whether they're working under very hostile, hard, difficult circumstances. They must still keep working, continue. They must work the overtime even if they aren't being paid. Even if they were promised to be paid and they're still not being paid, they must do it because how could they? They took an oath. But come on, man, come on. Let's have a heart for them.
You got to be
really.
fair. You got to be fair.
Yeah, let's be fair.
And again, if you're going to do your hours, fine. But there is a schedule. No, is there not someone to relieve you? What is that about? So
Right.
that person
Okay.
should be there.
Maybe the person who was to relieve her didn't show up. Did we think about that? Maybe she had an emergency. We don't know. We don't know what was said. We don't have. We only know of her leaving. We don't know what happened that caused the leaving, or if there was someone who was supposed to come that she has been waiting on to maybe relieve her for 30 minutes, and they didn't show up, but she has to go. We don't know that.
This texter says, I'm editing this. They're saying, I wonder if the folks in the cabinet and the government will give up misstatements and for Lent. That's not quite how they said it.
You don't need to once you have a Latre. I'm sorry. I find it so entertaining. For me, whenever I hear the Prime Minister speak, if it isn't a prepared speech, if it's someone asking a question.
It's pretty scary.
For me,
it's very scary.
I always say, I'll know exactly what happens with the right information or the politically correct information or whatever. I'll know tomorrow because Latre's going to come back and clean it up.
Wow.
So I just, but this time it was Minister Colby who came and kind of cleaned it up. But somebody's going to clean it up. Now, if it's a prepared speech, he's fine. But the questions off the cuff, we get this. This is what we got.
Terrifying. Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning to Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I heard someone said condolences to Laverne.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Me too, Ms. Laverne. I just when somebody in your family died.
Yes.
Wow, that's rough. It's rough. But
Thank
I
you
just want to
so
comment
much.
in the hospital. I don't want to come down on the cemetery and the jail, but Mr. Strong, this problem has gone on long enough because the people are not strong enough, and so Aaron had made a brilliant approach to this problem in which a collective civil service stance and then let the nurses work. But the thing is, the nurses are people, and so with this continual neglect and the partying and all the lavish spending and the insensitivity of what's going on in the hospital, because Jen had called and juxtaposed the partying and said, meanwhile, this is going on at Princess Margaret. And so I didn't get the full details. I just 10 minutes ago. But for me, it's kind of frightening because the nurses are people. And so even as I work sometimes for hours, I become like, if I don't take a break and walk off, Mr. Strawn, things become cloudy. I encounter problems every day that I've never seen before. I use my brain to solve problems. Although people may think opposed to something simple because they don't do it. But I think a lot to solve problems. I have things that I've never seen before. But what I'm saying is, Aaron said that maybe the civil services should all collectively make a stance. The nurses, they still work, but for people to be dying, I've actually had a conversation a couple of days ago with a guy who actually works in the hospital, and he was telling me the insensitivity that exists on the wards in which the nurses will be there and ignore people that are suffering and dying. That is something that they have to do sometimes because I guess understaffed, stress, no pay. So it's really the government. People say blame. You can't blame the nurses because they are people and they're trying to send a message. But what I'm saying is I myself have experienced, you listening? A situation in which I told a head nurse that I'm going to walk up the ward and go to A&E because of the lack of attention that I didn't need, which was life-threatening at the time. So what I'm saying is, however you juxtapose it, it still boils down to the government. They know that they don't have to go to the Princess Margaret Hospital, Mr. Strong. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't really care. And so when you look at it, the problem has to be solved. And so if we are not strong enough, this will go on long enough. That's all I would have to say. And then, obviously, there's something sinister, but I like to say there's truth to the beam and people, you know. We need a real oversight. You listen to Laverne and Dwight. We need a real oversight into the expenditure and also look at a real scrutiny into these consultants and these contracts that the government are giving out for both administrations. Because what I'm saying is, without that, we don't, like, take, for instance, I have a problem. That building over there that they say costs $10 million, someone house bigger than that. But what I'm saying is that's for everybody to think about, because what I'm saying is, Dwight, there's no way you can tell me that nefarious activity is not taking place with any government. Because what I'm saying is it's too much money being spent on consultancy and contracts here, contracts there, and we don't know if they're being bloated. Could there be any, the Public Accounts Committee maybe need to be the Public Amounts Committee, because I'm sick and tired of the BS. The many people really don't know what's going on. Like I told you with my niece who worked in national insurance told me, right? You know, we all in the dark ages. We might as well stop reading pages, because we're in cages.
Okay, go ahead. One final call, and then we're going to have to go to the news. Please, caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, are you on the air?
How you doing?
Good morning.
I'm the gentleman that called and was very passionate about the situation with the nurses. I just wanted to say a quick thing. I'm listening to everybody that's commenting and so forth, and they're either coming from a political view or they're coming from a comparison of I own a shop, so therefore I work at a hotel and overtime and all that. I think the fundamental message has been missed here. It has nothing to do with political. It has nothing to do with the type of career I'm in. It has to do with decent human, nature. It has to do with decency. And I leave this with them to think about. If that was your child, I just said, okay, if that was your mother laying there, would you have the same mentality that you take the time to write and call and say, well, you blame that person? When that person's life, your family member's life is on hand and in a dangerous situation like that, would you be saying those things?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate that. We've got to go to the news. We'll pick this up on the other side. Stay with us here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
To bring some loving here today. Hey, Father.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. And now at 8:18, it is time for another check of your weather for today. Brought to you by 242 Day, February 24th. Celebrate by wearing your national flag colors. Enjoy a Bahamian dish. Enjoy Bahamian music, art, or entertainment all day long. And share your pictures by emailing bahamasindependence@gmail.com. Again, 242 Day, 24th day of the second month of the year, every year. Next week, Tuesday. In your weather for today, we've got high pressure supporting gentle to moderate breezes throughout the country. Meanwhile, a low-level, low-pressure system across the Key Sal area will generate quick passing showers for most of the country today. and northeast sea swells will diminish along Atlantic coastlines. So a deepening ridging pattern is reestablished area, and that low pressure area across the Key Sal Great Bahama Bank will slowly drift northeastwards through Saturday morning and trough across the country. Quick passing showers will plague the northwest and southeast Bahamas. During that time, temperatures will gradually rise and peak by Sunday. Another robust cold front will make its way into the northwest Bahamas by Monday, and that's going to bring a brief cool spell and potentially gusty winds for next week. Ahead of that, though, for today, there's a moderate to high risk of dangerous rip currents and rough surf along all Atlantic exposed shorelines. So for today, for the extreme northern islands, look for partly to mostly sunny conditions today, turning fair tonight. Variably cloudy today, turning partly cloudy tonight for the rest of the northwest Bahamas, and a mix of sun and clouds for the rest of the country, partly cloudy tonight. High temperatures well into the 80s. We're looking at highs between 82 and 84 Fahrenheit, 28, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight in the low to mid 60s for the northern half of the country, and the mid 60s to low 70s for the rest of the country. So between 19 and 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Friday, partly sunny for the northern half of the country, turning mostly fair at night. A mix of sun and clouds for the rest of the country. By Saturday, similar story, holding into Sunday. Changes coming Monday as that front moves through, and you'll feel the cooler temperatures with that front and the elevated rain chances as well. Monday night into Tuesday, high temperatures in the low to mid 70s, lows in the upper 50s for some areas, and 60s for most. That's your Morning Blend weather check. Also brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're looking to paint, Sherwin-Williams has what you need with top quality paints, expert advice, and everyday discounts to help you save only at Sherwin-Williams. 822, you're looking at traffic now, brought to you by Easy Car Sales, inviting artists to design a full wrap for their new Hongxi all-electric SUV. Create your mobile masterpiece and enter the electric canvas competition to win $5,000. Visit easy242.com to find out more. And in your real-time traffic right now, we've got a few hot spots for you. You've got Milo Butler Highway, as usual, seeing some heavy traffic right now as you approach Harold Pond on the way to Tonic Williams-Darling Highway and the roundabout there. Blue Hill Road also busy for you. Northbound from St. Vincent, you'll see some congestion, but especially as you get closer to Carmichael, and some slow-moving northbound traffic on the way to Independence Drive. Independence Drive backed up in both directions, but especially eastbound as you approach East Street and the roundabout with East-West Highway. Robinson Road looking especially busy this morning from just west of Soldier Road all the way through to Marathon and near Old Trail if you're heading westbound again. And at the various spots along Prince Charles Drive, you see that slow-moving traffic. Eastern Road, not looking as bad as normally it does at this hour. Again, some schools are closed for midterm right now. But if you're heading into the downtown area, very slow-moving eastbound traffic this morning, just from Arawak Key straight into Bay Street. You will see that mainly eastbound at this hour. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert. Also brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Whether you're on the road or planning your next move, they've got you covered. Visit NUA Quote or stop by your nearest branch today.
For over half a century, Hongxi has been reserved only for heads of state and world leaders. It wasn't just a car, it was a privilege. Easy Car Sales is proud to bring that distinguished heritage to the Bahamas. A new era in luxury electric, rooted in absolute prestige. It's for the few who demand freedom from the gas pump and first-class craftsmanship. Visit Easy Car Sales to see if you're ready for a taste of royalty.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. Your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas.
It's really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes, real talk.
I'm not just saying this
Real talk.
to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I gonna get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams, Bahamas, and you'll surely find colour in every day.
The following is a paid political message.
Find it here. You're looking for truth. Find it here. Vote for MacGyver. She's here for you. See everybody in Kalani. Change his hair. Hey. Hands in the air. See everybody in Kalani. Vote for MacGyver. She is a fighter.
That was a paid political message.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Are you a Bahamian college or university student with strong research in an economics of the Bahamas invites you to enter the T. Baswell Donaldson Research Competition for a chance to win up to $20,000. Top finalists will also be selected to participate in the Summer Research Seminar organized by the Central Bank. Submission deadline is April 30th, 2026. For more details, email exr@centralbankbahamas.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Come on, y'all. Stevie F. Live. Watch it. Oi. Blood horn. One more time. Jail is high. HMP is high. Say what? When you look in your neighbor's cell, boy, they look so sad. Come on. Jail is high. HMP is high. Tell them, Stevie. If you never been to jail, boy, don't feel bad. Tell them one more time. Say jail is high. Come on. HMP is high. You better listen. When you look in your neighbor's cell, boy, they look so sad. The jail is high.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. Coming up, we're going to be getting details about this big event at Karna. This tasting, this exclusive sales. They're celebrating their 10th anniversary, and they'll tell us about their new luxury EV brand that they're selling. So a lot to get to on this Thursday. Laverne, how's power gate? I don't know what to call it, but your electricity, you're still off?
We are still off, so I guess they're still under attack, eh?
No, okay. So let people know let people know the message that you got, or that the message that GBPC put out there. This is kind of scary, actually. Read that for us, please, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Oh boy, the internet's doing that thing. See, this is the power. Oh, yikes! Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. No, okay. Mm-hmm. You ready?
Ready to go.
Okay.
No, don't say that.
Oh no, what's happening?
There you go. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
It says,
yeah, better now.
Yeah, I'm ready. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, she can't hear us
Dwight?
now. Oh,
are you there?
We are there. What's happening?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on.
It says, Grand Bahama Power Company advises the public that due to an imminent threat,
A what?
an emergency shutdown has been initiated. An emergency shutdown has been initiated as a precautionary measure to ensure the safety of our customers, employees, and the island at large. First responders are currently on site assessing the situation.
Oh dear.
This proactive action was taken to protect life and critical infrastructure while the matter is being evaluated. Once the area has been deemed safe by the relevant authorities, Grand Bahama Power Company will immediately begin restoration efforts to return service to the island as quickly and safely as possible. And then, the typical, we understand and apologize for the inconvenience, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, wow. So are we to assume that this is an island-wide thing? It sounds, pretty widespread.
Yes.
Well, imminent
It's island-wide.
Wow, it's amazing. Just 1 week ago was Grand Bahama Business Outlook, right? Imagine
Imminent threat.
If that had happened last week. But today, of all days, okay, imminent threat. Well, we hope no one's life is in danger. That sounds pretty ominous. Okay, keep us posted on that. That is quite something. Wow. So somebody sent a message. They're saying, let's see if I can find it. This is about Prince Andrew, former prince. He's no longer Prince Andrew. The arrest of Andrew shows a level of accountability that seems non-existent in some countries like the Bahamas. Well, it's certainly interesting. I don't want to get too much into Andrew and that stuff today, because all that's going to do is cause me to once again call for us to abandon the British monarchy. But I don't think many of you are ready for that conversation, so we won't go there today, but it's coming. It's coming again. It's coming again because, he's the brother of the King of the Bahamas, and you all seem quite fine with that. Yeah. But anyway. All right. So interesting stories in the papers, Liver. We're going to move on from what we were talking about earlier. And we do hope everything gets resolved at the hospital as well. But this story in the Nassau Guardian today, DPP to hire outside counsel in Michael Johnson case. Our TZ Davis writing about that today. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions plans to hire outside counsel to prosecute the bribery case of former Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson and two others. That's according to well-placed sources speaking to the Nassau Guardian. Johnson is scheduled to go on trial alongside well-known defense lawyer Bjorn Ferguson and Sergeant D'Angelo Roll. This is set to start in March, which is next month, before Justice Dale Fitzpatrick. The accused have selected a trial by judge alone, not jury. Interesting. So prosecutors allege that Johnson, while heading the criminal investigation department, solicited a bribe from Michael Fox Jr., a suspect in the $475 million armored car heist that took place in November 2023, soliciting that bribe in order to avoid prosecution. Ferguson, who was Fox's lawyer, allegedly participated in the negotiations. Rolls accused of helping $90,000 of the recovered money. The matter came to light after a number of voice notes allegedly between Johnson, Ferguson, and Fox went viral on social media. However, those recordings may not be much use at the trial since a forensic voice analyst has been unable to say definitively who was speaking. So while Dr. Kristen Kirchbull could not match known voice samples to the recordings, she was able to say that the recordings were not generated by artificial intelligence. At least she was able to say that.
Okay.
The prosecution's key witnesses are Keel Holmes, a former employee of ICS Security, who was previously charged with taking part in the theft, and Superintendent Tarico Sweeting, who admitted to receiving $10,000. The DPP dropped theft charges against Holmes last year, and Sweeting has been granted immunity. During a related attempted extortion from Magistrate Kara Turnquest DeVoe, Holmes testified that he received $180,000 for providing inside information to the thieves. Roll Sergeant Nelson Miller, Corporal Chavez Sawyer, and local constable Benson Miller are on trial in that matter. It's a lot of people. He claimed that the money was dropped off in a garbage container, I guess, in front of his home. Holmes alleged that he gave Roll $100,000 of that money in hopes of avoiding prosecution. He alleged that he saw Roll pass the money to another man, whom he later learned was Johnson. Holmes claimed that he lied in his earlier statement to the police when he admitted to participating in the theft. Wow, well, I know this is going to be one of the most anticipated trials probably if not a very long time, in history maybe, in the country, and we are just...
people are going to be tuning in.
My goodness. Yeah, so that's next month, and outside counsel.
I'm concerned about the prosecution's case, though.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, because, they weren't able to definitively say, and other than saying that it was an AI. So,
well, we will see. We will
how
definitely
much of
all
the case
be.
rested on that?
Okay. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. This other matter in the papers today, also from Artesia Davis. This was another high-profile matter from last year. You remember this story. So the attorney for a Nassau man accused of killing his pregnant mistress has asked a judge to grant him bail. Reuben Cartwright, the 31-year-old married father of two, who was charged with the murder of 30-year-old Lauren Saunders on October 27th, 2025, appeared before Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson yesterday for a bail hearing. Cartwright, who was in prison, appeared in court via Polycom video conferencing. According to police, Cartwright led them to Saunders' body in bushes off Munnings Drive on October 22nd, 3 days after a family reported her missing. Cartwright's lawyer, Tamika Roberts, argued that he was a fit and proper candidate for bail due to his strong ties to the country and clean police record. Roberts said the evidence in the case was not cogent, as Saunders' cause of death was undetermined. By contrast, prosecutor Corinne McVean argued that penalties upon conviction risk. She said that Cartwright told police that Saunders met her death during sexual choking. McVean said a fit and proper person would not strangle a woman during sex and leave her in the bush.
Yeah.
Well, especially a pregnant woman.
Right.
But anyway, it's not... trying to... Anyway, yeah, so that's interesting.
We're not going to go down that.
But seeking bail, interesting there. We'll see how that goes. Let's get your reaction. Somewhat, let's be guarded and a little careful with what we're saying here with these matters before the courts. But let's hear what you have to say. The phone lines are lit up, and then I want to get to this this story in the Tribune today. But let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, how you doing?
Doing well.
Morning. I just want to address something quick because I was trying to, do this a little while. But I don't want us to get to a point in this country where we demonize nurses and say they heartless and cold or whatever, because it's not easy being a nurse. They put their life on the line. They put their health on the line. They put their family times away from their family. So it's a very, very, it's not an easy job being a nurse, a police, or, you know what I'm saying? It's not an easy job. And this health crisis has been going on now for years under countless administrations. There's lack of proper facilities, lack of proper equipment, lack of proper staff. It's like nurses are human beings. You see what I'm saying? So let's never get to the point where we try to demonize nurses and say they want people to die and all this different stuff like that. Because if you were in that position and you was going through all these things for all these years, you would get to a breaking point too. So you know what I'm saying? So people tend to blame the government, because the government finds money to do things like pay political prostitutes and other mouthpieces, let them live in lavish houses, give them, cars or whatever. But yet, when it comes to paying public servants who are essential, they can't find the money. So let's just please not demonize nurses and focus on providing better health facilities and proper pay for our medical profession. Anyway, the other thing, with certain cases in the court system, right, I feel like certain cases should be fast-tracked, especially when it deals the worst of the worst. Now, with the mounting evidence I've heard with the case where the lady was killed and she was pregnant, they shouldn't give bail. Track the case so that it wouldn't take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years for it to go to trial. That's what they should focus on. And that will solve all the problem right there. Just fast track the case, like how they did with the facility case where she allegedly killed her husband. That case was done. That case was over and finished within like 6 or 7 months. So the same vigor they have with certain things, they should have with that. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Can you hear me clear?
Yes, we can.
And good morning to your listeners. 4 p.m. Good morning. Happy belated New Year, and have my condolences to Ms. Gardner. Dwight, is it possible Ms. Gardner could tell us how to listen?
It's always good to hear your voice. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mom. Can she tell us what show, how to find her show, so we can listen to it also in Freeport online? Dwight, I blind, right? So they say blind people could hear good. I kind of could say that's true, right? And this goes to the case, and you say we must be careful how we talk about it. A few years ago, before that happened with the Johnson man, he was a guest on your show with a lawyer with some other officers, and I heard his voice. I was so impressed with the things what he was saying. When I heard I'm not a professional like how them people who say they cannot tell that's his voice. When I hear their voice again, I could have confirmed that was their voice, the lawyer, the officer, and the alleged criminals who got killed. So I'm just saying, if they need somebody, maybe they could find a blind person to do it. Those professional people can realize or reach to the point that they're the same voices. And I also want to say condolences to Jesse Jackson family. They might be listening. I understand the PLP man, male boy, I campaigned with him before. I understand he passed away. And Michael Alkides, you could double check. They say his mommy passed away. He's a good man, hard-working member of Parliament side, that Parliament for us and finance. I think he'll make a nice Minister of Finance if or when the government change. But Dwight, I just want to say condolences to them, and you keep up the good work. Happy New Year, Laverne. I love you.
Okay, all right. I don't recall Michael Johnson being on
love
the
you
show.
Too, Papa.
I don't recall that happening before. Maybe Mr. Producer, do you remember that? I'm not sure about that. Now, some other people, yes. Mm-hmm. But okay, Laverne, your show on Fridays in Grand Bahama. How can we listen to it here in New Providence?
Facebook. It's usually Facebook on Facebook Live. And it hasn't been on for a while, but we're going to do a limited series. We're going to do a limited series about election.
Okay.
Not a particular party, but what voters should know. So stay tuned for that.
All right. Excellent. One more call, and then I do want to get to this story. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi. Good morning.
And I have my deepest sympathy, Mr. Laverne Gardner.
Thank you.
Yeah, Dwight and Laverne. We was brought up in this country, and they say crime didn't pay, right? But I don't know if we seeing some type of different way of going in this country, because I mean, for the last couple of years, we are seeing that crime literally pays, right? Because the criminals are protected in this country for a little while, right? For a gentleman to be accused for a heinous crime, that's the way he was accused and charged, and for a lawyer to come up and suggest his release on bail. I mean, this is the reason why I always say, the status quo inside this country is sickening, because, there are always some rules for others and rules for others. Because had that been some other person, right? Like even the fellow who murdered the young girl the other day, and he then been it's basically the same type of case, right? Because he didn't been charged and the evidence is there. But what is stopping them from giving this man life or 100 years in prison? What?
But which one? Remember now, this matter hasn't gone to court yet. It hasn't gone to trial yet, so we will see.
Well, I hear you, Dwight, but what is causing this for not going to court? Just the point I'd be making. We need swift justice in this country that works.
Yeah.
Right? We need to have, because when we kick the ball down the road, you have somebody else trying to make up their mind about committing murder and the possibility of escaping, because the avenues are always there, right? So let's send a firm and strong message. It doesn't matter if the janitor is the criminal or if the prime minister is the criminal. Once you can get charged, we need to see the consequences, right? So that people coming behind will understand that, like, hey, in the Bahamas, it doesn't matter who you are, right? You can suffer the consequences, man. Guys, have a nice day.
Thanks a lot again. Innocent until proven guilty. But I get what people are saying. It seems, right, you wouldn't have to have this discussion about bail if, after all this time, the trial could start now. Right, and so get it out. And again, people are entitled to bail, apparently, according to the Constitution,
Right.
sure. But you wouldn't need to. You could do this.
Yes,
what are you
right.
waiting for,
So
right?
they said fast track it. Was it
Yeah.
Papa who said fast track it?
Quite a few already are saying.
They're saying.
We are digging in deeper into this this mucky situation, right? Again, we've got cases already assigned to 2027, 2028, probably 2030.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable. Really quickly, this story in the Tribune today: immigrants freed early, then deported. Wayne Monroe says nonviolent prisoners released to make space as population hits more than 1,800. That's the prison. So the story says that the Department of Correctional Services is struggling with overcrowding as more undocumented migrants facing criminal charges enter the prison system, prompting the government to deport 85 inmates granted the prerogative of mercy on the condition they do not return to the Bahamas. On the condition they do not return to the Bahamas? Okay. So you just promise that you won't. And then, okay. National Security Minister Wayne Monroe confirmed to the Tribune yesterday that 85 inmates were being processed for deportation. The group included Haitian, Jamaican, and American nationals, with Monroe saying the majority were being deported to Haiti. The inmates had varying sentence lengths, and some were serving time for immigration violations and had only a few months remaining. Others were nearing the end of sentences for drug offenses. Monroe says the influx of undocumented migrants into the prison system has pushed the population higher, forcing officials to make room for those coming in. He said the government was using the prerogative of mercy to release certain inmates early. So the prerogative of mercy is the constitutional power to reduce, suspend, or cancel a criminal sentence after executive mercy, not a court decision. In the Bahamas, it's exercised by the Governor General, usually acting on the advice of the government. Monroe says the process applies to inmates convicted of non-violent and non-sexual offenses. So he says, quote, with foreign nationals, we take a view that we're going to deport you, and the condition is going to be you don't return to the Bahamas without the permission of the Director of Immigration. If you do, you breach the term of your release, and you have to serve the balance of your sentence. Then we deport you back to your home country. Well, he described the prerogative of mercy as a tool to regulate the prison population and reduce the risk of legal challenges to detention conditions. Saying, quote, to keep the violent fellas in, you look at persons who may have another month, another 2 months, another 3 months to go, another sentence, and you release them early. Prison Commissioner Don Clare says the most recent occupancy stood at 1,801 inmates, with undocumented immigrants sent contributing to overcrowding. The prison was constructed to hold 1,300 inmates. He said there were no issues maintaining control within the facility, but overcrowding has caused discomfort among inmates sharing cells or dormitories. Between last year and this year, the prison received more than 200 undocumented immigrants, noting that it cost the government nearly $17,000 a year to house one inmate, a figure that covers food only, not medical or dental care. Well, for some reason, the story ends, I don't know why, with this. The United States has repeatedly highlighted overcrowding and poor sanitation in its annual human rights reports. Okay, whatever. People have been talking about that since I was a child. Bahamians have been talking about that since I was a child. But okay, thanks for reminding us. Really quickly, folks, let's get your reaction to that, Laverne. Caller is 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. What do you make of that? Overcrowding, that's a lot of people piled up in that place. 500 more than they can house, and I'm sure 1,300 is still not comfortable. So that is unbelievable.
I mean, and to me, on the outside, it seems like a sensible decision. I just want us to make sure that if you are now sending them back to their home country with the stipulation that they cannot return, or they can only return with permission from immigration, we need to make sure that we have the technology and everything in place so that if they decide that they don't want to abide by that agreement anymore and they decide to try to come back, we have some way of picking up, because you could come back under another name.
Yeah.
Right? Same person, different name. So do we have facial recognition? Like, do we have these things in place that would alert our system?
Indeed. I would like to know. I want to know how many people do come back after being deported. How many people are on their third go-round, right? Once you've been deported, you've had a terrible experience at the prison. Do you ever have the nerve to come back? What are we seeing there? I'm sure there's some people who have returned. But what exactly is that number? I'd be quite curious to know. You think they'd ever tell us? Would they ever share that? But I think it would say a lot. It would say a lot. One quick...
you know what? Mm-hmm. The information may already be there.
But it wasn't given the...
Don't be lazy.
Right. You
want to get phone back.
That's right.
Come on.
You're exactly right.
Go look for the information, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well.
I had to laugh when I heard the report of $17,000 a year just for food to feed an inmate. That works out to $46.36 per day to feed a person. I mean, Wow, that means that we're really in trouble in this country if we have to spend $46.36 to feed one person. I think that is an absurd figure just for food. They must be controlling and factoring labor and prison salaries and all that kind of stuff, because there's no way they could spend $46 a day to feed an inmate. That is absolutely absurd.
Well, what do you think? You think it's the 3 square meals, or is it? 'Cause, I mean,
Well, let's put it like this. In Canada, the average cost to feed an inmate a day is about $5.10 for 3 meals.
Wow. Still?
Okay.
Like now?
That's just food. Now, mind you, in Canada, they'll have trained culinary people, stewards, as they call them, managing the kitchen process, but all of the food and everything is prepared essentially by inmates, right? So it then, alleviates the factor of actually, having high labor costs. But think about it, Dwight. Do you spend $46 a day to feed yourself at home?
Not regularly, no.
Okay, unless you go to a restaurant. But if you wanted to go to the food store to pick up food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, are you going to spend $46 for one meal?
But I mean, okay, so
no, you're not.
So that'd be what?
They
50?
said $17,000 a year to feed one inmate a year on food.
Right.
When you factor that, when you divide that by $365, you get $46.36.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Okay,
but then
per
when
day.
you do, let's say that's 3 meals a day, so about 15 or so for each meal.
No, you're
how
talking.
you-
You see, you're talking retail. You're talking food, restaurant prices. When you're talking raw ingredients,
Maybe that's what they're
when
doing.
you're just factoring the actual cost of the food product and preparing it, there's no way you're going to spend that kind of money.
hear
So
you.
imagine if you have a restaurant then, right? If it's costing you $15 per meal, you think that people that are selling tuna and grits breakfast for $4 and change are that's how much it's costing them to make that? No, it's a cost ascribed to that
So
for food.
something is wrong. Yeah.
Well, it is wrong.
Yeah.
It is entirely wrong, and I challenge them to show anybody that's in the food service industry how it is that they could spend $46 a day to feed somebody in a prison environment if they're just factoring in food. Now, if they're factoring other costs associated, then maybe. But they just said food.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I just think that's a bunch of hogwash.
Okay.
Anyway, I
Very
just wanted to
interesting.
share that.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Wow. Well, look at that. All right. Yeah, this poses a lot more questions than answers. Hey, we'll follow this and see what more we can learn from this situation. Quite curious.
Yeah.
A reminder as we go to the break that the back to today. So tonight between 5 and 9:30 p.m. If you hear that sonic boom, the world's not ending, not quite yet. It's that landing of that rocket in Exuma Sound. We heard it last time all the way here in New Providence. So could be that again. But keep that in mind. All right, Laverne, power still off?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
I am still without power.
Okay, this is pretty serious. Hope we can get an update from what's going on there, this imminent threat
Yeah.
in Grand
I'm
Bahama.
going to look and see if there's been another update
Yeah.
posted.
Keep
when
us
we go to
posted.
break.
All right, we're going to take a
Yeah.
break and be back a whole lot more Morning Blend coming up. Stay with us here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Some sleeping on bunk beds, some on the ground. I can tell you lots of things I found. What that is? Mosquito for one, red ants for two, and them chinch body crawling all over you. Oh my God!
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clocks and Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Money back back in your pocket with a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, February 19th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And Laverne, before we get to our guests, so what's happening there in Grand Bahama? So the power is off. This is island-wide, GBPC announcement threat.
Imminent threat.
We're learning now, ZNS Northern Service is reporting that this was a bomb threat for the power plant there. And this is why they disconnected power for the entire island as the police investigate this threat.
Right.
Wow. And your power is still off at this point.
Yes, correct. The power is still off at this time. And I'm not being facetious, but I'm genuinely curious.
The whole island.
Do we have a bomb threat unit?
I mean, I don't know if Grand Bahama does, but okay.
No, I mean in the police department, is that a section?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure they don't have.
I didn't know that.
They're not busy, thank God. But
right.
Well, we hope this is resolved.
Who have that kind of training? Who can go in and they have equipment to investigate? And,
Yeah.
I just thought about that. And once I saw the notice, I was like, we have that? And again, I'm just asking.
Yeah. Well, we hope this is resolved as soon as possible. That's a lot of inconvenience for folks and whoever did this. Boy, I tell you. All right, keep us posted. But again, bomb threat at the power plant with the GBPC in Grand Bahama. The power is off island-wide as police investigate this matter. Okay. Changing gears in a big way. Laverne, wouldn't you believe it? I told you that I bet you she'd come without any wagyu. But Ashley Swaby is here in studio.
No wagyu, Ashley?
No. Okay. Not this time. Next time.
Well, I'd like to know what that means then.
No, I don't know what that means. We have to go to the event.
We have to be there.
We have to go. Exactly.
If the wagyu isn't coming to us, we got to go to the wagyu.
Okay.
So you guys are swift.
There you go. Ashley Swaby, good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. So tell us about yourself and where you work exactly, and then we'll get the details about this event next week.
Oh, I'm just Ashley, and I just do marketing.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a lot. That's good.
Yes. So Marketing 360 at SLS Bahamar.
Okay.
I have an extensive background in marketing, events, promotions, and all the fun, sometimes stressful stuff.
All right. Wonderful stuff. You look like you can handle it yourself.
Thank you.
All right. So tell us about this big event. One night only. A very exclusive tasting menu.
Yes.
Give us some details about it.
So this is, I guess, an effort that we have to bring to the island here with SLS Bahamar. And this is an extremely unique opportunity to not only experience the West Home product, which are nature-led cuts all the way from Australia.
Wow.
But this is hosted by our celebrity chef, Dario Cecchini. He is actually the owner of the Carna brand, and he will be flying in all the way from Italy to blow his horn, bring the theatrics, and share his love of meat and premium cuts with our Bahamians.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so I'm wondering about Dario. He's a legendary butcher. So, but is he a chef, or is he? This is his focus in
Butchery,
restaurants.
100%.
Okay.
But he took that love and it evolved into Carno. That's a world-renowned brand.
Yeah.
You can find it here in the Bahamas, and then of course in Dubai.
Yeah. So you must be really good as a butcher if you can become a celebrity.
I
with
know,
that, right?
exactly.
It's definitely amazing.
How many butchers do you know can do that?
Exactly. So must be an amazing experience. All right, for folks who aren't familiar, tell people if you can about Wagyu and why this is a special.
Why don't you tell me what you know about Wagyu?
Put me on the spot. I know our next guest knows about it. All right, so Wagyu is not the one with the. That's foie gras. I don't know much. I don't know, but Laverne, I know you say you occasionally are fancy. So, do you know much about Wagyu?
Do you know? She knows about Wagyu.
Our next guest, we should let her come in here and explain. You want to come in here, Pia? Our next guest knows all about Wagyu.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah?
Hi.
Pia. Let's open that mic for Pia. Do you do a lot of Wagyu in Argentina?
Right.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I'm originally from Argentina. Yeah. I mean, I'm Bahamian. I've been here 51 years.
Longer than I've been around.
But I remember well. And what I was going to say, in the restaurant, I know you have Argentinian people barbecuing the meat, Argentine style.
Okay.
So although the meat is coming from Australia, really, you should try Argentinian beef now. But you have the barbecuing going on by Argentinian chefs, because there's a very specific way in which meat is cooked in Argentina to bring the full flavor. Now, this is coming from a vegetarian. But I do know a lot about meat from my upbringing and because I visit Argentina a lot. So anyway, I was just laughing because, meat from Australia cooked by Argentinians.
In the Bahamas.
Right.
But Wagyu, I know, is
and
very
an Italian
special.
butcher, right?
And an
So
Italian
it's a worldwide experience.
Butchers are superstars in Argentina.
Oh, okay.
Exactly, because they have to know how to cut the meat for the best quality, the best benefit, the most tender cuts, and the way that you cut it. And in fact, in Argentina, they have different cuts from Europe, for example, or the United States, in how they carve a poor cow.
Sample today. But okay, so what can you tell us about Wagyu really quickly? So what makes it special?
Oh, so Wagyu is a very special, as my understanding is that the animals are treated extremely carefully and kindly. They're only fed certain foods, and it's a big delight. I was in Japan, and everything was Wagyu beef in Japan, so, but you probably know much more.
All right, excellent. So you've whet our appetite for this. So how do we be a part of this exclusive event?
So what you can do is you can go on, if you're an Instagram person, you click the link in our bio. It's going to take you right to the booking platform. Or if you browse the internet a little bit, if that's easier for you, you can go to sls.com/Bahamar, and our events page has it posted up right there. You can't miss it. So that's our digital platforms. You can also, if that's not a great alternative for you, feel free to stop by the hotel at the front door. Anyone at the concierge desk will be able to assist you with booking physically.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. And it's how many people can be accommodated? What numbers are we looking at?
So this is a very intimate experience. It's on the Carna Terrace, and we are capping at 80 people.
Okay.
We're slowly but surely climbing up there in true Bahamian style. Everyone books last minute, so do not wait to miss this opportunity, because it may not happen again until next year. But I implore you to reach out and secure. It can be a solo date. It could be a party of 2, party of 6, or if you have a party of 10, we might work out a deal. Hit me up.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. And again, give us the date and the time. When is it going to be happening?
This is on February 24th, which is next Tuesday.
Hey, 242 Day.
242 Day, exactly. At 7 p.m., and it's $300 per person. And I'll also add that this is a 5-course meal, and it's a wine paired dinner.
Okay.
So each course comes with A paired wine.
Yeah,
that
so that's a pretty good
brings
deal.
out the cut.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a very fine balance, you
Yeah.
know. You have
Yeah.
to know what wines should accompany the meats.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
In carne.
Yes!
Carne.
Oh, and guess what? Dario's going to be here next week, so we're going to try to bring him out, and he's going to say it just like that,
All
just
right.
like you.
Excellent,
Latinos.
excellent. So 300 for a 5-course meal.
Yes.
That's a pretty good deal.
With wine.
Yeah, yeah. No, sounds excellent, excellent. And is there a deadline, or is it as soon as you get the 80?
I would say, exactly.
Yeah,
As
okay.
soon as we get up to 80, we're going to cap, so that's it.
Wonderful stuff. This sounds like it's going to be a wonderful time. Ashley Swaby, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
We're going to take a break, and then we'll get to what Pia is celebrating with Easy Car Sales. You don't want to miss that. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. Should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC has given us some trouble, sorry folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah. Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on! We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path to CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
For over half a century, Hongxi has been reserved only for world leaders. It wasn't just a car, it was a privilege. Easy Car Sales is proud to bring that distinguished heritage to the Bahamas. A new era in luxury electric, rooted in absolute prestige. It's for the few who demand freedom from the gas pump and first-class craftsmanship. Visit Easy Car Sales to see if you're ready for a taste of royalty.
And we are back with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. And as promised, Easy Car Sales is celebrating 10 years already. That is unbelievable.
Good morning, Bahamas.
Pia
Yes.
Farmer is with us.
10
Congratulations.
years. Thank you. You know, 10 years ago, we introduced the first electric vehicle for sale and on offer here in the Bahamas.
These were the Leafs, the Nissan
The
Leaf.
Nissan Leaf, remember?
Yeah.
We've been coming to your show since then.
Right.
And very quickly we realized we needed to get our own brand so that we could offer full warranty and service support and parts and everything. So within 2 years, we had a deal with BYD that it still holds very strong. And then after that, Jack commercial vehicles, Jack Motors. Then it was the Geely Radara pickup truck a couple of years ago. And now it's the Hongxi, the royalty of EVs that we're introducing.
Yeah.
So it's been quite a journey. You know, when we first started, nobody had even seen an electric car. Most people laughed. I remember standing outside the food store showing people the cars. And
what was the
people
reaction
laughing.
like?
Well, you know, very mixed. A lot of people, most people didn't know anything about them, so they were curious. And then I sold my first car outside that supermarket 10 years ago. So now we're celebrating 10 years since we introduced the cars. And our goal was to make it acceptable in the Bahamas, which it now is, to make it desirable, which I think it is as well. So we have really done our job, and we have over 1,400 customers now. And over the 10-year period, the first 5 years were a bit slower, but the last 5 years since the pandemic have been crazy, the growth. And in that time, we have either reduced or avoided 14,000 square metric tons of CO2 emissions. Now, what is that? That's the equivalent of 14,000 carbon credits. So I went and presented those carbon week and said, you could have them. And it's more or less the same as having planted over 1,400,000 new trees.
Really?
So our owners, after paying for their electricity, have saved over $5 million. Because driving electric is much less expensive than gasoline and much more efficient.
Yeah.
So we feel very proud to have made a difference, to have launched this. And the best reward is to actually see the rate of adoption in this country.
Yeah.
I suspect it's...
Well, I was going to ask you about that. And I appreciate you so much because unlike some of the politicians, you come with your numbers. You come with your stats. I was going to ask you about the mindset changes that you've seen over the time. From the people laughing at you 10 years ago to I think you can even tell us your percentage mark of the new car market, right?
Right. I mean, it's difficult to tell because not everybody belongs to the BMDA and this reporting and so forth. But I suspect in this country now about 15% of all new cars are electric.
15?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's ahead of most places.
Yeah, definitely ahead of the U.S. Yes. Well, that's not hard.
The U.S. is going through a little, tantrum. It'll pass.
Yeah, but that's up there almost with some European countries, right?
Yes, I mean, of course, you have the countries like Norway, where 95% of the cars now are either fully electric or plug-in electric, which means hybrid, which we don't sell here in the Bahamas because we don't need it.
Right.
Range anxiety. These fully electric cars will go 250, 300, 400 miles on a charge, So we don't do hybrids ourselves at Easy Car. So Norway is very hard. In China, there are more than 50% of all new car sales are fully electric.
Right.
And of course, they're the ones that have the most advanced technology with regard to electric vehicles today. Because they started very early. With some of the legacy car companies were sleeping and their chair people were collecting huge bonuses and all of that, they weren't moving ahead with the times. And so they're trying to play catch up, which I'm sure the U.S. will do because they're great innovators and they will catch up. But they're right now not in leadership position of electric vehicles.
No.
But their attitudes have changed tremendously. Well, if you don't know, and then there's a lot of propaganda out there because the fossil fuel companies are not just going to give up in 5 minutes. And the legacy car companies are not either, especially since they're not producing electric cars. So there's a lot of misinformation, and that was the biggest challenge for Easy Car, was to educate. And now, if you don't know, it's because you don't want to know.
Right.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
You could look all the information up, the facts now.
Yeah.
and find out the real deal.
No more fears of electrocution. Or is it still a little bit of
Some
that?
people are, but once you explain that the batteries are completely sealed, and these cars are driving in Norway that has very strict laws about what can go on the roads, for example. And nobody has ever died of electrocution driving an electric car, ever. Look it up.
Wow.
So it's a natural sort of reaction, but...
So I know there are still some people concerned about infrastructure here, although you mentioned it, you don't have many miles to go, unlike in some other places. But how is that looking? If you do end up with a low battery and you need to charge and you're a few miles from home, what does that mean? How will you make it here?
Right. So the first thing is once you start driving electric, that generally doesn't happen because the same way as you charge everything else in your life, it's rare that you forget to charge something. You live in a different way. You don't have to have a fully charged car to drive, the same way as you don't have to have a full gas tank to go out in your car.
Right.
As I often say, I used to drive on faith and fumes because I never wanted to stop at the gas station.
Right.
So, however, most people will install a charger at their house because these cars come with a charger. So you just have your own charger at home and you charge it as if it were any other appliance. So that's the ideal way, right? Now, if you can't because you live in a condo or apartments or your landlord or landlady, still doesn't understand it and doesn't want you to put a charger, there are...
That's still a job. People still saying those things?
Some people are still saying that, yeah.
Okay.
But it's okay. It's a learning curve like everything else. And we've gone very quickly here in the Bahamas, really, in a short period of time. So what you can find now are public charging stations. Some of the businesses in town are starting to install free charging for their customers. Easy Car Sales installed about 16 or 18 chargers around the island as well, home chargers. And now there is a company called Park and Plug that you can join, and that's a network of chargers. So it's like a membership. And then you can also use the fast chargers that are starting to be installed. One is at the mall, Marathon Mall. The other one is at Easy Car on Gladstone Road, and a few more imminently going to be inaugurated.
Nice.
That comes with its own challenges as well, but Park and Plug is a good way for you to have this membership where you can park anywhere, whether it's a home 7-kilowatt charger or a 20-kilowatt charger, and hopefully faster ones coming along.
Right.
I don't think BPL or the government of the Bahamas have any current plans for installing a network of chargers or the infrastructure, the same way as we have street lights and sidewalks. We need to have charging infrastructure installed, but I don't think that there is any of that going. Well, that's fine. The private sector fills in.
Yeah. We're here. There were some concerns about whether BPL's network could handle more fast chargers. What do we know now? They can't.
Yeah, I mean, they can. It depends the level of fast charging. You might have heard that in China now, they have a battery that can charge in 5 minutes. Now, to charge a battery in 5 minutes, you need an enormous amount of energy all at once, which requires a lot of amperage, which requires very specific energy requirements that, I don't even know the details about it, but we're not ready for that. It's very difficult because you need certain power feeds to feed the faster chargers.
Right.
But up to 20 or 40 kilowatts per hour is totally doable in the Bahamas right now. That's what Park and Plug is doing. You can go to www.parkandplug.com and you can find out more about it. I think it's parkandplug.com. And you can join, and it's a monthly membership sort of thing, and then you can charge anywhere that you want. And the fast chargers are great because you can charge up to 80% of your car in 30 to 45 minutes.
Wow.
So you're at the mall. You can go into a Marathon Mall, do your business, do your things, come out, and you're done, for example.
Yeah, excellent. All right, so you mentioned it, Hongxi. This is the newest brand that you have. Tell us about it. This is a high-end luxury brand.
Yes, it is a high-end. It's a very very a brand that, for example, President Xi would be driven in and so forth. It's very sort of high-end exclusive, but they're expanding into other models. So that doesn't mean that because they have been exclusive, there aren't well-priced options here. It's just that they're detailing, they're styling, their finish is very special. Yeah. They're very different when you sit inside the car. They're very sleek. They're very simple. There's hardly anything.
You had some
dashboard.
at the car show at the
did.
Marathon Mall.
I did. So we
very
currently have
Bentley-esque.
Yes, that's the big boy, as we call them. Yeah, the EHS9. You know, they don't have very sexy names, I'm sorry to say. But that one is beautiful, like for big families or livery services and such. And that's our highest end one. And then we have an SUV, which is great. In fact, I'm going to start driving it now for a little while.
Okay.
And then we also have a beautiful sedan. And you can see them either at Gladstone Road or at Abundant Life Road. So on the East-West Highway, diagonally is from Marathon Mall,
right,
where you would go in for the Solomon's Service Road. You just go to the end, and that's our lot. And there you can see the biggest selection of cars. That's what we call our EV city. And you can go and see them, test drive them. You know what changed the people's attitude over these 10 years? Was driving
absolutely.
the car.
Right.
Okay? That's the key. You could talk, but until you try it, then you have all the answers. Then you understand why EV driving is taking over the world. You know, sales grew by 25% in the rest of the world last year.
Wow.
25%.
It's amazing.
So the world is moving on. There might be some countries that are not ready for prime time. That's fine. That will come. But in the rest of the world, EVs are taking over now.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Good morning.
Laverne?
Do you mind sharing maybe some of the luxury features of this vehicle?
Oh, wow. Well, the technology is... Hi, Laverne. Sorry. Hi. In darkness in Freeport. Good God.
Oh boy, it's still off, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Yes.
And thank you, Garnell, for finding out that we do have a bomb unit here in Grand Bahama. But go ahead, Pia.
A bomb unit. But, we have to be prepared. We live a little bit in a fantasy life in the Bahamas here, because in the rest of the world, there are regular bomb threats and threats from terrorism and so on. We have to be aware, okay? We were talking about Argentina before.
Yeah.
I mean, in Argentina, when I left in 1974,
There's a lot going on.
there were 7 incidents of terrorism a day. 1,000% inflation. It was complete chaos.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the luxury features come from leather, seats. Depends on the options that you want, right? Because there's different models. The trim, the way that the car runs, there's not a lot of controls and command centers. It's very sleek. It's very comfortable. The technology is the latest technology. Of course, it comes with all the Apple CarPlay and all the apps that you would want to add to the car. And that is an important feature when you buy from an authorized dealer, that you're getting the 4Export that comes with English operating systems, English tablets and security features and safety features and so forth. So it has to be experienced, to be believed. There has memory for all your seating, preferences. I think it's 3 different settings, so that my husband likes to more or less lie down when he drives a car.
Oh, he's one of those.
I like to sit up, so we could switch very easily. You just have to come and see it and speak to some of our talented people. Big shout out to my team who have been fully trained in these vehicles to tell you all about their features.
I'm looking for the pictures I took in the mall. The really unbelievable. Yeah.
I'm online.
Okay.
I'm online.
Yeah,
looking at them.
go to
They look like really
easy242.com, everybody, and you can see all of the cars there. They are beautiful, and they have come in some lovely colors as well,
Yeah.
Sometimes the choices are limited with color, but they have sent some really nice colors as well.
Very nice. Yeah. All right. So how luxury are we talking? What's the price difference between this and BYD, perhaps?
Well, I mean, BYD depends because BYD, what we try to do is to bring a whole variety of models. So with BYD, we start at $27,000 and go all the way up to $84,000 plus VAT. Okay, I don't quote with VAT because my tax, as they say, and that could change any moment, obviously. So that's the range. These ones range from about 40 something to over $110,000. But when you're traveling in what we call the big boy, I mean, it's just different. It's just a different experience, and it's very luxurious, very quiet, very smooth, very elegant, very sophisticated. And the details of the car are amazing. So you just have to come and experience them. So they're not outrageously expensive. If you go buy some of the big brands that people talk about, they're much more expensive.
Yeah.
These are fully electric, fully equipped, complete, we offer all the warranties, best in the business warranties as the authorized dealers on these vehicles. So come and try them out.
Laverne, I just sent you some pictures. You can take a look at that. That's what Pia is calling the big boy.
The big boy.
That was in the car show a few months ago. In the
It
mall.
stole the show. Yeah, everybody
it was
was.
unbelievable.
It's a beautiful
There was
car.
a line to get inside.
Yes, and then this one, the SUV is the one that we have just brought in quite a few of those, and they already are moving very quickly. We just launched this brand a couple weeks ago, really, and already people are loving it.
And again, it's pronounced Hongxi.
Yeah, because a Q is a sha in Chinese.
Yeah.
So Hongxi.
Hangshi.
All right, we're talking with Pia
The
Farmer.
next time I'm in New Providence, I need to take a drive.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
looks like a really beautiful car.
Yeah, we were just in Freeport last weekend. We were at the BBO. Then we had a test drive event with RBC, so we were there for 3 days last weekend, and we're coming back again. So we'll make sure, Laverne, that you know about it. We tried to let everybody know through the radio and mailings and so forth. So there is a hunger for electric cars in Freeport. It was very well received. But this is not our first time in Freeport. We've been there many times. And we have 2 representatives in Freeport as well.
Yeah. Talking with Pia Farmer with Easy Car Sales. Again, they're celebrating the 10th anniversary. Okay, you've got an art competition going on now. Tell us about this. What's inspired this, and what do people have to do to be the big winner in this?
So, since we brought this new brand, we thought a good way to introduce it would be to have this competition. For the Culinary Arts last October at Bahama Culinary Arts Festival, John Cox wrapped a Geely Radara in his artwork.
Okay.
And Jordana Kelly wrapped a BYD Tang in her artwork. And we presented them as part of the Fuse Gallery exhibition.
Nice.
And people, and so we thought we'll do a Hongxi, but we'll make a competition out of it. So if you go to easy242.com, you can get that link to all of the terms and conditions, which are very simple. What we want you to do is to upload your artwork either onto a template that is available there for download, if you know how to do that sort of thing. And if you don't worry, just upload a JPEG of your original artwork, your personal original artwork. And we have a fantastic panel of judges, and the winner out of all of them will be rewarded with $5,000.
Wow.
We're going to wrap the car and reveal it at a big award ceremony on the 19th of March. And there will be a couple of honorable mentions as well. And our judges...
And they'll get prizes as well?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And our judges are John Cox. So, he's the VP of Arts and Culture, an artist and cultural activist himself. June Colley, who's a visual artist and a gallery owner. She owns 60 to 60 Art Gallery downtown. John Paul Saddleton, who's also a very well known artist. And you can see his interpretation of the rap on the website, easy242.com. Strachan.com. Dawn Davies. Dawn Davies is an art collector.
One of the biggest in the country, right?
Yeah, she's always been a huge supporter of the arts, and she's going to bring a different perspective to the judging. And she's also a huge collector of art, you know. And Kweku Simonet from Sign Island, because they're going to be doing the rapping. So he's going to bring in the practicalities, okay, of it. So this contest ends February 28th. Not much longer now, but there isn't much to do at all.
Right.
You just go, you register your interest, you download the templates if you want, but if not, there's lots of examples of the car on the website, and upload either your artwork onto the templates, if you know how, you know, young people, I'm old now, I don't know how to do that, but young people know how to do that, or just a JPEG of your original artwork. And then we will judge it in the beginning of March, and then we will announce the winner at a big Hongxi launch, March 19th.
Is there a particular theme, or are you just looking for whatever catches everyone's eye?
Yeah. Whatever you want. Somebody said yesterday, oh, imagine a Junkanoo themed car.
That would be
okay,
cool.
but it doesn't matter. Whatever inspires you. And this is the whole idea. This is the mix of imagination and creativity with technology. We're fusing the technology of the car and making the vehicle your electric canvas. So you can create your mobile masterpiece onto the car.
So this is a great opportunity for artists, but I mean, there are a lot of people who are amateurs who...
Artist or creative people.
Anybody,
okay?
right.
Because everybody is creative. Let's face it. Some people are more than others.
Right.
And some people maybe haven't even admitted to themselves they're an artist. Maybe do graphic art. Well, graphic art is art. It's creativity. So there are no criteria. The only criteria is 18 years or older, in this case, and Bahamian or Bahamas resident.
Right.
That's it.
And you could win $5,000
because we value our artistic community.
That is amazing. And again, what's the website to upload your work or your
so
what
you
your
could
plan?
go find out all about it, all the rules, the terms of this, because we won't even own your art. That art belongs to you. We're only doing it for this car. So after that, you could go and make mugs and T-shirts and whatever with your art. Imagine it driving around, you know.
Yeah.
So the website is easy242.com. And then I have to make a correction about Park and Plug. It's Park and Plug 242.com. I just got a message. So it's Park and Plug, all spelled out.
Right.
242.com.
Okay.
Go there, because there you can also buy, you need a charger, you need an adapter, you need a thing, everything, and you can just buy it online.
Wonderful. So the big question is, what's going to happen to this car once it's wrapped? Who's getting that? What's happening with that?
So two things. This whole competition is being conducted in partnership with the Current Gallery at Baha Mar and the Baha Mar Foundation, the Baha Mar Resort Foundation. And what we are planning to do is we are planning to auction this vehicle for charity together with the other two vehicles that we showed in October.
Okay.
And we're going to auction them for charity to raise funds for emerging artist programs that happen at the Current. And
that's amazing.
It's really great because it's a cyclical thing of creativity and then raising funds for more creativity and emerging artist programs, because they do a lot of programs at the Current, and Baha Mar supports those. So we're working very closely with the Baha Mar Foundation and with the Current Gallery, and they have been marvelous. We just parked John Cox's pickup truck that he designed, the Geely Radara.
I see it on the highway all the time. I've been wondering what that was about.
So now it's parked outside the Current.
Okay.
So you can go and see it there and get an idea of how to wrap, you know, what it is. And the other one is at Marathon Mall, at our showroom, our BYD showroom at Marathon Mall. You can go and see the other wrap car.
Nice.
So in this summer, we're going to auction the vehicles, and the proceeds are going to go to young emerging artist programs that the Bahama Foundation has.
That is beautiful. We're talking with Pia Farmer with Easy Car Sales. Again, they're celebrating their 10th anniversary. We've got a few questions. If you have questions about anything we've talked about this morning, you can call in or text us. Call 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Maybe you're in the Family Islands. 242-300. About the prices again for the Hung Shi. Again, there's a range.
Yeah, there's a range depending on the model.
I haven't seen the sedan yet. You haven't.
The sedan is very cool. Yes, some of those we have demos for you to try, and you can pre-order. Those are coming in, and then the big boy, as I call it, is for right now. You have to pre-order it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's a very high-end car, so I can't have a dozen of them lying around.
Laverne, you saw the pictures of that one. What did you think?
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of white cars, but I don't know. I just don't like it.
But that one.
This is a beautiful vehicle. And also on the Hongxi website as well. So I'm looking at other colors and models, but this is certainly it looks luxurious. Sometimes you hear about a vehicle and they say it's a luxury vehicle, and then I like to go on sites and look at the luxury vehicles, and I'm like, but no, this.
Yeah, it's very stylish. You feel.
So, Dwight, when you upgrade to this, I'm just going to need to.
No problem. Sounds good.
Well, I'll take you for a drive. I'm getting mine this week.
Okay, can't wait.
I want to try it out for a while.
Cannot wait. This person says here, what is the recommended service schedule and cost of an EV?
So, great question. EVs are much simpler than a gas car in many ways, or definitely than a hybrid, because you only have an electric motor, a battery, and many hundreds less parts and moving parts than a gas car or a hybrid. So electric vehicles only have to be serviced once a year, and it's only for a couple of hours. And what we do is, when you're an authorized dealer, you have the diagnostic tools from the factory. So you plug in the vehicle onto these diagnostic tools, and they give you the whole report. It's like a computer. The car is like a computer. So there's no guessing. Oh, is it the carburetor or is it the thing? It's very clear. So it gives you a report, and there's some basic things they do, and it's done. It's very simple. And the price for us is usually a flat fee, depending on your model and the complication of servicing your vehicle.
Right.
So it's no more than $500 maximum, I think.
And again, that's a one-time, because it's only once a year.
And then with BYD, for example, the first checkup is free at 6 months. They like to make sure that everything is working well. But it's not a very expensive vehicle to maintain because, first of all, the warranties are great. Up to 8 years of warranty. So many times you don't have to pay for anything. And they're simple because they're like 1,000 fewer parts in an EV than in a regular car. So you don't have to service them or replace them. They don't end up in the garbage dump, and you don't even have to manufacture them.
Right.
So, it's very simple with an EV.
You mentioned they're like computers. So are there over-the-air updates? Does that happen?
There are software updates. In the Bahamas, we don't have the facility to do them remotely yet, I think. I'm not in the service department, but as I understand it, when there's an update, you can either bring it in, or we do it when you bring in your car for your service. And that's another important reason for buying from an authorized dealer rather than second-hand Chinese language cars, because when there's an update, you can't update that. I don't speak Mandarin. We can't service those cars. So unfortunately, people have been bringing in secondhand Chinese models that we cannot service and definitely don't have warranty. Because those cars, when they leave China, there's no more warranty on the car. So the warranty is going to have to be by whoever locally brought it for you, or but it's not going to be from the factory.
Yeah. Wow. So 10 years. What are we expecting over the next 10 years?
The next 10 for the next gen. That's our line.
Oh, okay.
The next 10 for the next gen. Continue our good work. We're going to encourage people to transition from the old gas technology to the new way of driving. It is so much more pleasant. It is so much less expensive to maintain. You know, I've said this before. Electricity is 1/3 of the cost of gas. So if you're spending $60 on gas, right, you'll spend less than $20 on electricity instead and put those $40 in your pocket. So you save so much money driving electric. It is so much simpler, and it's so much nicer. You know, these cars, you know, when you're driving, they're not vibrating, they're not making noise, they're quiet, you feel in a different world, they're very responsive. When you press the accelerator, they just go, you know, there's no hesitation. So for me, that's safer, really, when overtaking or pulling out in a roundabout, you know, especially that Gladstone Road roundabout.
That's not even the right word to use. Oh, man, don't get me started on that one. But, it's the smell of coolant.
The smoke,
that
you know.
You don't, because the place is so hot, and with the traffic, almost every car develops a radiator problem.
No, but there's no radiator.
There are no radiators,
no
in the electric
muffler,
vehicle.
no transmission. There's no gears. It's very smooth. You just go from 0 to 60 in a few seconds, in most cases, and so. It's a different, you know, we have to just move on. We've moved on with our technology and everything else. And this is why the world is moving on. And particularly, personally, for me, it is an environmental issue. And that is because each gas car spews out 4.5 metric tons of CO2 every year out into the atmosphere. And these cars, electric cars, do not put out any emissions on the road. Okay, so you're already reducing your carbon footprint. It's already making you feel better. And actually driving it is much nicer. So maybe a lot of the stress you start to find out goes away. But this is something you can't explain to somebody who doesn't drive an electric car until they drive
Absolutely.
it. But the next 10 years is more adoption, more choices.
Yeah, there's a whole lot more options out there, right?
Yes.
All right, so a few more questions are coming in our final few minutes with Pia Farmer. All right, so this is always a big question about the batteries, and if you need to replace them, what's the warranty of the batteries, and what's the cost to replace batteries?
So batteries are always a thing that people worry about. The failure rate of batteries in electric cars is very low. And now they're made to last for the life of the vehicle. In the early days, 15 years ago, the batteries were not very efficient. They couldn't hold a lot of electricity and so couldn't go very far. They weren't cooled properly. There were a lot of issues because it was a new technology. Today, when you buy an electric car, you can expect that battery to last for the life of that vehicle and beyond. We don't
what does that
know.
mean, the life of the vehicle? Is that as long as the warranty or past that?
No, well past that. The warranty is 8 years for the battery. Some brands are 5 years, but most are 8 years. And in fact, are now starting to expand it to 10 years because they have great confidence that nothing is going to have to be replaced in these cars because these batteries are built. We don't even know how long they're going to last because they haven't been around so long. So you have electric vehicles in China that are taxis that have driven over 500,000 kilometers that are still using the same battery. That's 350,000 miles, more or less. So we don't worry that much about the batteries because they fail maybe 1%, 1.5%, maybe that much. And usually,
so much less than an engine.
Oh my God. Fail. Nobody asks a car dealer, what does it cost to replace the engine? Okay, but the first question is what does it cost to replace the battery? A, you're not going to be paying to replace the battery for 8 years, number A. And number B is that in 8 years' time, that battery is not going to cost remotely what it costs today because today the batteries are much cheaper than they were 10 years ago. I mean, dramatically cheaper and much more efficient. The early batteries, you could go 100 miles, let's say. These batteries now, you go 400 miles. The limits are being pushed by CATL, battery maker, to 600 miles and so forth, and smaller, more efficient. So by the time, if you ever wanted to, had to replace your battery, the life of a vehicle is considered by the car industry to be 14 years.
Oh, wow.
So not the electric car, the gas cars.
Right.
So they're expected to last for the life of the vehicle. It is not a concern, and at least should not be your concern for the next 8 years.
Okay. Wow, that is very impressive there. All right. So, again, remind folks where you all are located.
Yes.
You've got a number of locations now.
We do. That's another thing that has grown in 10 years. When we came out of the pandemic, we were about 9 people. Today, we employ 45 people.
Okay. Wow.
We had 1 location at Gladstone Road. We now have 3 locations. We have the BYD flagship showroom, beautiful at the mall at Marathon Mall by the food court. We have our Gladstone Road location still, and now we have what will be our headquarters, which is on the East-West Highway, diagonally across from the mall, and you enter from the Solomon Service Road. We will soon be opening at Abundant Life Road.
Okay.
We're getting all the permits. And all the things so that you could enter from there.
Quite a process.
And our website, enter the competition, you only have like 10 days left, is easy242.com.
And anybody can enter.
Anyone over 18.
Laverne, I think we should try this.
I think everybody should try this.
Let's try to win this $5,000.
And then if you wanted to find out more.
But if we win the $5,000, I still won't be able to afford the home Chi, and that's what I really want.
Down payment.
Down payment. That's what it is. And if you want to find out more about the charging infrastructure that is growing every day, go to parkandplug242.com. That is an enterprise that is expecting to create a network of the whole island for charging.
Excellent. Very exciting stuff. Congratulations again. Happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you. It was worth it. And the next 10 is going to be for the next gen.
That is beautiful.
We are going to keep on taking care of our beautiful islands, taking care of our lovely customers. And do you know, in 10 years, I know of no customer of mine that has gone back to gas.
Oh, no, I can imagine.
Can you imagine? I mean, if they did, they didn't tell me. Maybe they were scared. But no, nobody goes back to gas.
Wow. Pia Farmer at Easy Car Sales, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us. And happy anniversary to you, because we've been coming to visit your show for 10 years now.
Yeah, so we're about to hit 14. So can you imagine that?
Yes, well, life is an adventure. I wonder what will be.
And then be back to wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Thanks again, Pete.
Thank you, and thanks, Laverne.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
For over half a century, Hongxi has been reserved only for heads of state and world leaders. It wasn't just a car, it was a privilege. Easy Car Sales is proud to bring that distinguished heritage to the Bahamas. A new era in luxury electric, rooted in absolute prestige. It's for the few who demand freedom from the gas pump and first-class craftsmanship. Visit Easy Car Sales to see if you're ready for a taste of royalty.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Environmentalist Joseph Darville of Save the Bays and Waterkeepers telling Guardian Business that the government's approval of the space exploration company SpaceX's request to conduct a Falcon 9 rocket booster landing in Exuma Sound tonight, while giving very little prior notice to the Maine people, is reprehensible. His words. You can read his comments in today's Guardian Business section. CCA Construction Incorporated says that it has completed all of its Bahama-related legal and has emerged from Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The company announcing that it has successfully emerged from the bankruptcy court reorganization by the U.S. Delaware, the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the District of New Jersey on February 11th. Saying that this marks the formal conclusion of all legal proceedings relating to Bahamar in Nassau. And the Silver Star showroom officially opening, specializing in prefabricated buildings and panelized building systems, as well as China-based procurement services. Silver Star's president Daniel Liu saying during the opening ceremony that the company is already doing business with developers in the Family Islands and is developing systems for the construction of schools on those islands as well. D&T Shipping is spending $6.5 million on the renovation of the former packing house on Potter's Key to create a private passenger and freight terminal, replete with passenger waiting area, a parts store for ships, and a 4-star restaurant. The media got a tour of the facility, which is currently under construction, along with the Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Jomo Campbell. Principal of D&T Shipping, Gregory Stewart, says the company expects to complete the facility in April after starting construction in August. And in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Wednesday, your market movers. Doctors Hospital moving 1,000 shares, closing down 12 cents to $4.88. Full call moving 1,000, unchanged at $7. Consolidated Water down 15 cents, closing at $7.32. And Emira Incorporated down 23 cents, closing at $12.48. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,178.74, down 0.50. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And that is going to do it for us today. Laverne Gardner, your power still off in Grand Bahama. Is that the case?
Still off. Power's still off. I'll keep you updated.
What is the latest from them right now? What are they saying? Anything? Or they're still, the police are still doing their investigations?
I didn't see anything recently.
Okay. Well, we hope this is resolved as soon as possible. And whoever's responsible for this, I hope they are dealt with harshly. But thank you very much, Laverne, for being here today. We really appreciate you and love you very much.
I appreciate you to all of you, and thank you once again to all of our listeners. And you